Three, two, one. The
The Spread,
Spread,
Season
Season
7,
7, Episode
Episode
14.
14.
Great.
Let's
What's
go.
going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Spread. Before we begin, we have a message from our co-host, Josh.
Yes.
Daniel, go
He,
ahead and let it rip. Josh has a lot to say, so we're just going to give him his own segment here.
we're just going to let
Since
him
he can't
rip.
be on the podcast.
We can all, yeah, they,
This is Josh from the Spread. Been gone for the past 2 weeks with work, but I am absolutely ecstatic. Just want to take a second. Number one in the NFC. Your Chicago Bears are number one in the NFC. Carolina Panthers pulled up an upset versus the Rams, and after that, it was lost. Bears control their destiny right now. We're 9-3, and honestly, versus Philadelphia Eagles absolutely prove that we are capable of doing big time things versus big time opponents. I've been saying for the past couple of weeks we needed to have a game where we were dominant and we were playing bully ball and playing complementary football in all three phases. Rushing for almost 300 yards is definitely that consistency that we've been needing to find on offense. We've been needing to find an identity, and Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift aren't really Sonic Knuckles, but I think they're an even just as powerful duo, and we haven't even seen what they're capable of doing. We got and Georgia's entire defense on the Eagles, so they are they're pretty good front, and for us to be able to rush for like 287 yards, and then condition wise, it definitely had an effect on both teams. Really couldn't kick the ball at all, and passing was probably not our best option too. And I felt like both quarterbacks definitely struggled, but Caleb Williams threw a dime at the end of the game. It was beautiful to see, just a dagger, um, playing 8-man fronts, stacking the box, and being able to find Cole Kmet at the end of the game for that touchdown to seal the win is just amazing. Number one in the NFC, number one in the NFC North, and we got the Packers this week. So, man, I really feel like we're capable of doing a lot of great things. I'm looking forward. We got the Packers, and we're going to be at Lambeau. So, man, don't get much better than this right now. And great thing is we know that we got a lot better to be too. So the Bears, baby, let's go. Oh, what's up, guys? It's Josh from the Spread. You can also
All right, shut it off. Shut it off. We've had enough. Had enough.
yeah.
Right. That's a little
Oh,
message from the
this is
unfortunate
received.
Kings of
Yeah.
the North, Kings of the NFC right now.
Yeah.
Uh Absolutely crazy things. I titled the episode "The League is Upside Down" right now. And it absolutely is. This is like my second worst week of picks ever just because the amount of upsets were absolutely
It
insane.
was quite a week for football.
And we're gonna run it all down right now. For everybody out there, we're gonna throw it back to Thursday.
Turkey Day.
Um,
Hope everybody
yeah,
had a good Thanksgiving.
yeah,
I
I
sure
do.
did.
Yeah, yeah. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, unless
Yeah.
you're a fan of one of these teams. But we'll get right into it with Packers versus Lions. Packers go
This,
to Detroit, and
yeah.
they really made a stamp on this game, a mark on this game,
Mm.
I would say.
The defense for the Packers really stepped up.
Mm,
They limited a high-powered Lions team. That's that the JMO combo mixed with Montgomery and also Gibbs, like it makes Jared Goff look really lethal. But the Packers defense was able to kind of bracket them. Micah had a really great game. Um, about 2.5 sacks almost, or a sack and a half, or something crazy. It was just nice to see. Obviously, unfortunately, it's for the Packers, so it's like kind of bittersweet cheering for him. But that's still a dog. He had 2.5 sacks. Um, and he closed out the game too. The Lions are bleeding. They're bleeding out right now. That's one of the two teams in the NFC that are bleeding out right now. And
yeah.
depending on their next two games, they might bleed all the way out. When it comes
I
to the
s- yeah. I still would love to see like a fully healthy version of this game because I think these are two of the closest teams in the league right
Yeah.
now. Like if they played 100 times, the Packers would win 50 and the Lions would win 50.
Yeah,
I really think it's that close. And I think the difference is Sam Laporta. Like Sam Laporta
for
not
sure.
being out there is it's it's crazy important for him to be out there
Super big
because
security blanket.
whereas like the Packers have been getting by like basically rotating through these, receivers, like a bunch of
Mhm.
number twos. That's what
Yeah.
we've always said. Like the Packers have like 5 number 2 receivers.
Yeah,
Well, it works to their advantage whenever
Yeah.
one goes down and they can just plug in a new guy
yeah.
and he's going to go for 80 yards and a touchdown as well.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't matter who's in the receiver rotation for the Packers. They're going to make an impact on the game. I don't think that can be said for the Lions right now. I know last year it was a huge part of them getting to the playoffs, but whenever their key pieces are down, and it cannot be understated how big of an injury the Amon-Ra St. Brown injury was
It's huge,
during this game.
huge.
I think we've mentioned this a lot this year, more than any other year, of teams losing their superstar, their number one bona fide
And they're crippled.
superstar
They're crippled.
during the game. You don't come back from it. I mean,
No,
from what
no,
I've
no,
seen
no.
this year, like no matter how well coached you are, no matter how much talent you have, if your number one guy goes down during the game, you are almost inevitably screwed out of that game.
I think a prime example, and we'll get into that game, is Sauce against the Texans.
Yeah.
That Colts Texans game,
Mhm.
Sauce being gone made a world of difference. But I think that's a good example of that on the
Yeah.
defensive side of like,
I
hey,
mean,
this
there
is
have
a
been a
number one
lot of
guy. Like they play man almost more than anybody now that they have Sauce and Ward. And once he went down, they had to switch their game plan completely and throw more zone in that they really have ever fully practiced. And if you don't get the reps in with that, and this guy that's been sitting on the bench the last 2 weeks, Blackman, I'm sorry, we'll get into that. My bad.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of games, and that was one that really stuck out. And I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Pack won. Obviously, they got like you said, they won one of the 50s that they're supposed to win.
Yeah.
The injuries played a part. But yeah,
Yeah, it does set the Packers up really well. In the NFC, I mean, if Lions would have won, they would have been set up really well. It
Yeah.
really was just like a 50-50. Whoever comes out on
major
top,
footnote.
yeah, this is gonna change the NFC. So, yeah, good one for the Packers. I mean, you definitely want to see more consistency from Jordan Love. Like he has these really great days
Yeah.
and he has these really off days. It's like in the playoffs, he's gonna have to have more good days than bad.
You
Like
want
that's just gonna have to start
a
being
funny
consistent.
comparison that I'd like to throw out there in chat? Please let me know if I'm tripping. Jordan Love and Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Love is a higher quality version of Bryce Young.
Mhm.
And it helps that he has a run game that's as consistent as Josh Jacobs. Because Josh Jacobs' 89 that he got, it is as impactful as some running backs, 100, 115. Because when he gets some third down, 3rd and 5, keeping the sticks moving, things like that.
Yeah, 100%. But anything else on that game?
No, let's keep
mean,
it moving.
I know one thing we will mention is Josh Jacobs has been battling injury this year, so that was
Yeah.
another part of that game, as well as who's their tight end?
Kraft.
Yes, Tucker Kraft also going down for the season is
Huge.
huge for them as well. Like
Yeah.
they would definitely benefit. That's why I said fully healthy, like Laporta versus Tucker Kraft versus like
Yeah.
healthy Jameer Gibbs, healthy Amon-Ra,
Yeah.
all of that. And then the Frank Ragnow thing was weird. Like it, he was like unretired. He declared he was coming back to the team, did his physical, and he has a fully torn meniscus. Like his knee is like
Sit down, buddy.
fully destroyed. So that was weird. I think Frank Ragnow would have made this team better. It's a reason I said at the beginning of the season they were going to regress because missing him, I feel like has changed the team. But yeah, we'll move on. Go ahead and let you talk about good old Chiefs, Cowboys. Cowboys won 31-28.
We need to acknowledge that our defense has turned it around. As
Yeah.
much as I was upset about the Micah trade, Once we traded for Quinn Williams, I shut it up. I put it in the chat. We can go back and look to our spread chat. We've been running forever. I'm on the logo imaging. Like I put it in there. I was like, we're about to get Quinn Williams. And I said that's going to change our defense. Our problem has never been edge rushers. We have had a plethora of them. DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm not going back to the DeMarcus Ware times because that's a little bit, different era of offensive. But we have DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, right now we have Clowney, which given the opportunity, Clowney's been a stud. Everywhere he goes,
I
he's
mean, I
consistently.
love the idea of just filling the D line with run stoppers and
Yeah,
just like
get
letting
some guys to
your
go, letting our edge. We have some young guys too, that are really stepping it up. And like I've been saying since the beginning of this season, Overshawn. I've been saying, I was like, once he comes
I've
back,
been saying it all season.
that is the main drum I've had. Just Overshawn. Longhorn alumni stud, 4.4 speed linebacker. He can tackle the best of them. And he gives me Fred Warner vibes. And I'm not saying that if you watch the film, you see zero flying all over the field. I knew last year he was starting to get into his own. Soon as he came back from the injury, hitting the ground running, man. That's been another hole that we've had is middle linebacker play. We got guys that can quote unquote tackle, but we don't have anybody that can run the sidelines and tackle. We either have one or the other. Either running the sidelines and they're missing tackles, or they're tackling, but they're slow as me on Thanksgiving dinner. And addition by subtraction, Diggs. Like we have not been missing Diggs because Diggs has been getting burned a lot this year. It's made it easier to kind of move on without him. Some younger guys. Bland is the better corner, more healthy, still has a step in, and our safeties are kind of playing together. They've never really been a problem. Obviously, in the playoffs they can be had, but that's because our linebacker core is soft. But none of this means anything if we don't go to the playoffs. It was a great game. I enjoyed every second of it. The last 3 weeks, I'm scared. I'm scared to get hope. This happens every year, man.
Yeah.
That happened the year that we was the number 2 seed. I was like, I was scared, but once I jumped off the edge, it was over. Like there was no turning back. I need 2 more wins. 2 more wins, and you got me. I'm about 2 feet away from jumping.
Yeah,
We have the Lions next, and then I
Yeah.
believe we got you guys after, right? Or is it the Chargers?
yeah, I think week
Week 15?
15. Yeah, that's
2 weeks
yeah,
from
we
now.
play you guys.
So these next 2 games, if we can win these next 2, we're basically one step in, and then
Yeah. Yeah, the next 2 are
but
super important.
those are all the deep parts of our playoff run that I hope we get on. Everybody knows we have the best receiving core now. Like it's kind of redundant for me to talk about it. I was on the fence when we got Pickens just because I didn't know how him and CD would mesh. But now that I'm looking at it, they're best friends, bro. They got the same ski mask on. When CD Lamb scored a celebration and he did a little dance like that, Pickens turned away from the whole team, was just celebrating with them and did the same thing. That is an upside that gives me. Okay, obviously they didn't win the championship, but a good comparison is when they put Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald together. Everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, if they can just work together, it's going to be crazy." Or you put, yeah, go ahead.
I'll throw this into the argument. Like Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua have been when they've been on the field together, it's kind of crazy.
I think those
how much
two,
they score.
those two are the only one that's.
But it's close. It is close.
It all
bro.
depends
It's
on
close.
what you prefer.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that would work in the Adams Puka favor is CD's had some drops.
Yeah.
That's been, but Pickens,
But I think CD and Pickens have the speed definitely over Adams and Nacua.
Yeah,
Like Nacua is not a fast guy.
No.
Devontae Adams is older. Like they don't have
the yards
speed.
after catch is what makes up for that. That's what I was gonna say. Like
Yeah.
both of them, you can give them a 10-yard in, they could turn it 45 yards. Like that really played a big factor in it.
Devontae
And
Adams right now is like the Michael Thomas slant king of like
I like that.
just hitting
I like
that slant and hitting the end zone.
in the
man.
fade, yeah. And the last thing I'll say, which is the most underrated part, is our running back two, Miles Davis. I think he is really cemented that he's going to be the number 2 guy going forward.
Yeah.
And we have been looking for that because Williams is not a bell cow 1 second, third down guy. Like he's just not that. There's not that many of them in the league. Most teams really excel when they have a 2 down back or split back type backfield. And we needed that too to make it easier for Prescott, what he's going to do, make it easy for Ferguson, who he's blocking for, things like that. And also to give the play action for our 2 studs. But that's it, man. Like I said, 2 more weeks, then you will see a different side of me. But for right now,
Yeah.
I need to just sit and chill and just enjoy the wins when they're emotionally satisfied.
Yeah, well, don't let me pump you up, but I mean, everything I was thinking during this game about the Cowboys was making me angry. Just for the fact that like, there's no way Jerry got away with it again, right? Like he was dead on sight of any Cowboys fan for the like after that trade. Like Jerry was just enemy number one,
He was
and
like Nico
somehow
Harrison from the Mavericks.
he
This
has
is
turned this
damn near the same
around.
thing. Yeah.
But Nico hasn't done anything to make up for what he
No, he
did.
got fired. They had to get rid of him.
Jerry has somehow turned this around in his favor, trading for Quinnen. Every trade is working. Javonte Williams, Quinnen Williams, George Pickens. Go down the list. Like
Logan
everything
Wilson.
he did worked.
Yeah. A
It worked
linebacker.
out.
Outside linebacker. Ugh.
Even the
Insane.
coach, Schottenheimer.
Oh, thank you.
Every
I gave you an alley oop and you took it. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bring up the
everybody
coach.
wrote off Schottenheimer, and he's excelling now. Like the play calling is sound. The defense looks like it knows what it's doing now.
He's
Like,
rallying the troops. I like him. Every week when he goes down the list, he was like, "All right, Clown, you got to say the way he's like him and Ben Johnson are really growing on me. Ben Johnson, when he took off his shirt and got all hype, I was like, okay, now we're lit. I like this.
the Geno quote has never been more relevant, but for the Cowboys, they wrote me off, but I did write back. Like somehow they bury Jerry Jones. Like I'm telling you, this was a dead man, and he is. One thing you can
how
say
I felt
about him
it.
is he is resilient. He is resilient. The fact that he actually stood up to that public criticism and somehow crafted like a very good team is insane to me. Like your record, the fact that your players are playing at the level that they are, but the fact that we're having a conversation between who's won, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb or Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua is insane to me. Like just that conversation. But and don't let me, go off too much on a tangent, but we've rarely seen Patrick Mahomes in these situations back against the wall, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen it time after time where he wins these games. He always finds a way to get the ball to come back to win. The only times that he has faltered is when he is playing a championship level defense. We think of the 2019 Patriots, championship level defense. We think of
or Bucks.
The Buccaneers, the Super Bowl Buccaneers, championship level defense. I'm not saying the Cowboys have a championship level defense, but the way that they controlled that game was absolutely crazy. Like Mahomes had no answers. The one we call the greatest in the league right now had no answers.
He had a really great game. Like I'm watching that game, even though Dak had the interception to start the game off, Dak had the better game, but Mahomes was Mahomes. Like it was the run when he broke out of those 2 sacks, jumped and threw it across the body to Worthy in the fourth quarter. It was jaw dropping. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my gosh. Out of all things to happen, our defense, like it was, I don't know, man. It was poetic. It was great. But nonetheless, the Cowboys were able to was able to pull it out. Next up,
Are you still there? Sorry, my
oh no,
video
you're
cut
good.
out.
Next up, the Bengals and the Ravens. Uh this works
One last
in
thing
the
on the Mahomes thing.
oh go
real quick.
ahead. Go ahead.
The 2 times we've seen him like lay out like fully horizontal throwing the
Yeah,
ball, both losses. Both of those games he
true.
lost.
True.
Like, man, it's crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I
Yeah.
know it must have been crazy for you too. Like,
I was
I mean, this
hollering.
was the Chiefs playoff hopes on the line.
Yeah.
Like I said last week, if Mahomes is truly chasing Brady, Brady did not have a losing season where he was healthy. He did not miss a playoffs. There in Brady's entire career, there was no point in his career where he was eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Statistically.
I said last week, whoever wins out of this game is probably going to the playoffs. I want to be on a ledge and be like, oh, we're going to automatically make it, but I do not want to jinx us because it's my
Yeah.
team. If it
Yeah,
was
I
some
mean,
other team, I'd be like, oh, they're going to the playoffs for sure. But because it's mine, like I need 2 more wins to emotionally feel cool with saying it because I have been fooled too many times.
just from how the NFC is stacked
Yeah,
right now, like
yeah,
you just have to have 2 more wins at least.
it's too close. The
Yeah.
AFC is a little bit more top heavy.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, like you said, Bengals Ravens. Bengals beat the Ravens 32-14. Um, this was a wild upset that I did not see coming.
No, I did not either. Joe
Um,
Burrows, he had his moments to where you could tell that he was coming back from an injury. But he
mhm,
also had his moments that you could tell that even though they are a high scoring offense, when he is on the field, he makes a difference.
yeah.
It's it- the numbers are not that different from whether Chase is getting 100 plus. Um, it kind of just spreads a little bit evenly after that. But obviously, Chase gets the major touches. Um, it just it's just different, you know. I
Yeah.
think the line blocks harder. The defense plays more. They just believe when they have that guy on the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have really gone. I mean, we always say it. It's kind of a "What have you done for me now" league.
Mhm,
And when you're on the bench, you forget forgotten about. We talk about whoever else is playing because the game at this time of year has so much weight that if you're not playing, are you even in the league to us?
yeah.
Like what? On everybody's fantasy, you're on the bench. No, you're not in nobody's parlay. You're not a part of any conversation except what if. And there's too many what ifs when there's actually games being played. But I feel like it's the same for you guys. If you guys had a quarterback, you guys would be playing different.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
and he's not just a top 15 quarterback. He is a top five win all these extra things that you want to throw in there.
Mhm,
However you want to manipulate the numbers, he's a top five guy. Um, whether it's talent, whether it's gameplay, how far you got in the playoffs, whatever. It just changes, man. And Lamar, unfortunately, was you can't do nothing about it. Like
yeah.
he is on the other side of that to where he's still kind of playing a little hobbled. Derrick Henry wasn't getting the touches. Um, this was a game that the Ravens had to win. But the Browns needed, I'm not the Browns, the Bengals needed it more just because the Bengals, the Cowboys, and the Ravens are all in the same situation to where they have too many losses to afford anymore. They need to
Yeah.
go on a 3 game plus win streak to really have a chance. And the
Mhm,
more you win, the more you're like, okay, we're okay. But that first loss, you're gonna be like, can we make it back from this? Um,
yeah.
but I am happy to see Joe Burrows back as a football fan for sure.
100%. And I think like going to the Joe Burrow side of things, I feel like 100 out of 100 times you ask me, oh, are the Bengals gonna put up 32? It's like, yeah, I think they will. Like they've done it all
Yeah.
season. Why wouldn't Joe
Mhm.
Burrow be able to come back and just do it. He is Joe Burrow. Um, but the biggest thing was like how time of possession, I think, changes defenses.
Yeah,
Like another thing I would have told you 100% is that this Bengals defense is one of the worst I've ever seen, like the worst
in a long
statistically in
time.
NFL history. And they turned the Ravens over 5 times.
Yeah. The most they've gotten in a game, I believe, was 2. I heard a stat about that I literally had to go double check because I was like, damn, that really. Because I mean, the Cowboys, we've had some really bad defenses too in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And there's a couple teams that have been in the conversation, especially when the injuries play a factor, whether it's the quarterback giving up a lot of possessions because he's a backup, whether you don't have an edge rusher no more, or your top DB's out, or whatever. There's a bunch of reasons why sometimes teams really fail on one side of the ball. But the Bengals and the Cowboys have been in the mix of that, of having
Yeah.
really crappy defenses for sure.
Yeah. So turning over the Ravens, I mean, if if the Ravens only have 2 turnovers, they probably win this game.
Yeah.
5? I mean, like just as a sports player, you turn the ball over 5 times. I don't care what
3 of
sport it
them
is.
came from Lamar.
Yeah. And
He
that's
had
your
1
leader.
interception
That's
and
yeah.
2 fumbles. So even
That's just disheartening. Like
yeah, you didn't even I think, and the numbers that I've kind of been really trying to amplify is when quarterbacks throw that 275 range, in my eyes that equals like a touchdown, a rushing touchdown. Just because there's not that many yards nowadays. Um, he didn't throw for a touchdown. He had an interception. So you're already 500 at that. And
Yeah.
then you have 2 fumbles. That means you're dropping the ball. That's different. You throwing it to somebody off a tip or whatever. We can kind of look past some interceptions. Dak has a lot of interceptions like that back in some of those times where he had the 10 plus was because a lot of guys were dropping passes, a la Dez or Mark Cooper or whoever. But fumbling, that was forced. Like you could have
Yeah.
slid.
I mean, one wasn't forced. One, he literally just gave the ball to the
Yes.
Bengals. He just handed it to him.
Yeah, it
Um,
was really bad. And
yeah.
you can't, it doesn't matter what team you go against. If you have 2 turnovers in the playoffs, let alone 5, you might as well hang
Mhm.
it up because the game slows down by 30%, give
Mhm.
or take. I'm just
I mean,
throwing
the
numbers.
Bengals just were in control of the ball like for the entire
Yeah,
game. Like even when like the Ravens had no chance to score because they never had the ball. They just
yeah.
kept giving it back to the Bengals. And then,
Field of
well,
position
like
too.
in a very simple football mind, it's like, okay, how do we stop turnovers? You run the ball. That's how you stop turnovers. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess this was the first game where it really smacked me in the face. Like I had known about it all year, but it really smacked me in the face that the Ravens are the oldest team in the NFL. Like every player is ancient, like compared to other teams in the NFL.
That the Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, D Hop, they really boost up the numbers
They're
because I'm
slow.
looking
They,
at
they turn over the ball. The defense is not like they have no ability to react to what
Uzi has been in for a
you
minute.
know.
Humphries too, Roquan. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah.
on
They
this defense and they
they're
got
so
some
old.
grandpas.
They're so
I
old.
would freak out if we could trade for Kyle Hamilton. Just
That'd be crazy.
yeah, no, I'm just wishful
Uh,
thinking.
but yeah, I think that's my takeaway from that game. It's like, damn, does this Ravens roster need to like completely flip and like,
The question that we need to be asking is about the hardball.
yeah,
And
does the coach
unfortunately,
need to go? Yeah,
yeah, because at the end of the day, you have to choose between the coach or the quarterback. And I think there are about 30 other GMs that would rather get rid of Harbaugh in a heartbeat before you get rid of Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
There's not another Lamar coming around the
And I
corner.
I am on that camp as well. Like I would take Lamar over anybody.
Yeah, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that I would choose Lamar over Lamar.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like
Yeah,
maybe you do start looking at the coaching, but I mean that's off-season stuff. Right now, you have to evaluate your roster.
yeah,
And I'll give you a little hint, like if any Ravens organizational people are listening, this roster is old as hell.
yeah.
Start there. Um, and then we have the nice Bears-Eagles game. Bears
can-
get the dub,
I feel like
24-15 over the Eagles.
I mean, for me, the only thing I'll really say about this game is Philly is bleeding out bad. They are just like the Lions, but they're bleeding out a little bit worse. Dropping 3 games in a row in the NFC, we were just that winning one of those would put you in first place. Now you have to fight even harder to make sure that because this the schedule gets more difficult for Philly. Like there's a couple teams that are having it's going to get lighter for some, but for Philly, I mean, okay, so they play the Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, and Commanders. The Bills, that's a tough game.
Yeah.
You can't afford to lose. You have to go over 500 in the last 6 games of the year. Wait,
Yeah,
the
the losses are definitely
last 5.
concerning. Last 3. I think they're losing to playoff teams though, and I don't know what to trust with this Eagles team because, like,
Actually, it was
from
2
what we've
games. My bad.
seen these last, few years of them going to Super Bowls, like their main, I don't know, their main strength, I would say, is just pure strength, like just pure will, pure like bigger bodies on the offensive defensive line. Like they're just bigger than you, they're just stronger than you,
Yeah.
and that's been their entire game plan since they started going on this run with Nick Sirianni and stuff. And it's like the Bears, I would say, have mostly been on the opposite side of that spectrum. Like they've had bad offensive lines, they've had bad defensive lines. That's why it's taken so long to get Caleb Williams comfortable in a system, is because he doesn't have time to snap the ball, he doesn't have time to make reads, like. And now it's completely flipped, and this game showed it more than any other. Like Ben Johnson has come in here and given an identity to the
Yeah.
Bears to outstrength, be tougher than your opponent, kind of like what Dan Campbell did when he came into the Lions.
Yeah.
We're just gonna out-tough you, outstrength you. And now the Eagles are playing with fire a little bit as far as like, okay, these teams are taking your identity. They're taking it up a notch.
Yeah.
Like, what's your response to that? Like, how do you go higher than that? Because in my opinion, you still have the best running back in the league. Okay, going off of last year, no one has touched the season that last year that Saquon had.
Jonathan
no one-
Taylor, he's
fallen off though. Like the
the
yardage,
last few games
the yardage is not going to get there. Like it's just like,
I think it was a couple weeks ago he was on pace to it, but he slowed down the last couple.
and
weeks.
maybe it's just a thing of like, Madden curse, whatever. Maybe it's just a thing of like,
Well, yeah, that's real too.
when running backs take the kind of, their body takes the kind of beating that Saquon took last year, you're like, oh, he didn't really get tackled that much. I mean, he was pretty much just in the open field for most of those runs. But it takes a toll on your body. 17 games, playoffs, Super Bowl. Maybe a running back just doesn't bounce back from that and, follow it up with another 2,000-yard season. But the problem is they made him the key of this offense. And if you don't have the key, I'm telling you, the car does not start. Okay? So
No, yeah, you're right. One thing
before
that
AJ Brown, before looking at any of these other factors on the team, Devontae Smith, you built the team around Saquon. You have to figure out how to get Saquon going, or none of this is going to work. And I'm talking this specifically about against playoff teams. They can beat bad teams all day long. That doesn't matter. What matters is, what are you going to do when you get to the playoffs? Because this is not it.
the problem that Philly has right now, they took the approach, we will do what we are really good at and make it our main thing. And not in a main thing in regards to like main thing with a couple other things. This is their bread, their butter, their meat, potatoes, the veggies, the drink, and the fork. They have put so much into the run game with the line, with the tush push, with Jalen Hurts scrambling because of the play action and everybody covering the receivers. Now they're like, okay, we will put all of our focus. We will rather have the quarterback beat us than the running back. I think there was a team 4.5, maybe 5 years ago that had what's it called? An assumption around them that we were just like that. The Cowboys with Zeke. Zeke and Dak, we will make Dak beat us. Even though you don't have Amari Cooper right now, you have an older Dez or whatever. We will make you beat us like this. And if you do not have the guys and the chemistry, you're not going to do it. It doesn't matter what kind of quarterback you have. If Baker Mayfield does not have chemistry with Mike Evans, the Bucks are very, very easy to have because they're one-dimensional. If another good example, if you can be able to stop Minnesota with their connection with Jay Jettis, they're one-dimensional as well too. And there's teams that are so one-dimensional. Sorry to poke a sore spot, but there's teams that are so one-dimensional that if you can shake it up, maybe not necessarily stop it, but make it to where they have to work so hard for 7 yards. Like there's no such thing as an easy pitch and catch down the field. Everything is like really out of the gutter. Then you are going to be had in the league because you're not going to be able to lean on the thing you're not that good at. There's a reason why people are cool with letting Jalen Hurts run free because you're not finna throw the ball 30 yards down the field. You might sneak one to Devontae. You're going to get one because Devontae's really good. He is a starter on most teams in the league. What are we talking about? Dallas Goedert is a top 10 tight end. Like these guys are not bums, but the quarterback cannot get them the ball to the point where they can do something with it. So we're going to make the running back beat us. But you can't get the ball and break free all the time because we're going to bracket you. We're going to put 8 in the box. You can't go. Saquon is. I will have the conversation. Best back in the league on a different day. But he is not one of those backs that can beat 8 in the box consistently. The defenses are too crazy nowadays. Like if you put 8 in the box and make Jalen Hurts throw open Dallas Goedert on a 3rd and 7, I'd rather take my chances on that.
Well, that's the thing when you're the champs, right? Like when you're the champs, all 31 teams are studying that Super Bowl game film, or studying the postseason film against the Rams. What are they saying? We gotta load the box. We gotta make it. We gotta stop Saquon. That's every single team in the league is coming after the champs. They're all watching the film. You have to evolve as a championship team, and that's the thing that the Patriots did over their run. They kept changing. Every year they came back, they were a different team. Now, did they have all the key pieces and kind of, in their mind, they knew what they were going to do and like all that stuff. But schematically, it looked different. Like you couldn't figure it out because they would change it up all the time. That's the key of a dynasty.
There are 2 ways to have a dynasty. The way that you just said, which is keep evolving and staying ahead of the sticks in regards to the league, trying to mimic and stop what you're doing, or have a 1 of 1. And when I mean a 1 of 1, I mean this guy probably.
Well, the Patriots had both. That was a problem.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The Patriots, they kind of had both. The Chiefs, they have the 1 of 1. That they don't have to necessarily evolve their team as much as the Eagles do. The Eagles they have to go from Charmander to Charizard. The Chiefs, they are already Charizard, and they just have to keep winning as Charizard for the Pokemon nerds out there. And right now, they can't get that little middle ground, and Jalen Hurts isn't the guy to do that. Which is why I've always said the conversation with Dak and Jalen Hurts laughable. It's obviously I'm chilling out, but yeah, that's all I'll say about that game because we got a few games to get into.
Yeah, we got to get through a few. Texans beat the Colts. Yeah, Texans are playing great defense. I think we talked up that Texans defense last week a lot. Just go watch that episode again. It just happened again against the Colts.
DeMeco Ryan, man, defensive stud.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we said it all last episode. We talked about Tony Mendes.
he's doing what everybody thought Robert Saleh was going to do on the Jets, is make your
100%.
defense elite when you're fully healthy, because we're not going to ridicule you if everybody's hurt. Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
But when everybody's healthy, you have some studs. We've drafted some studs. Will Anderson, Stingley, like some go-getters. And we got a quarterback that is top 15 when healthy. And there's a receiver that Nico Collins is in the Devontae Smith conversation, I'd say. He can start on most teams in the league, or at worst case scenario, be a 1B. And figure it out from there. You got a tight end that's pretty good. And also, before I even give the Texans too much credit, Daniel Jones is hurt. Weird to say that that's a factor. He's hobbling, so he can't run as much as he is used to. So that's playing a big factor.
Yeah, he had a huge leg injury that.
Yeah, they said he has like a fibula fracture or something like that.
Yeah.
A chip in his leg. I don't know. Whatever that is, it's a big deal. Which means now Jonathan Taylor has to do even more. And Jonathan Taylor can be had when you have a defense like that. He was kept out of the end zone today. And there's not a lot of teams that have the coaching to scheme it up. Some have to depend more on their players, but this team has both. They have some studs that are all pros, and they have a coaching staff that is insane. And DeMeco Ryan, like like I said, he's what Robert Saleh was supposed to be. That's the way I see it. And the Colts are staggering right now. Sauce Gardner, I watched that game from start to finish. Once Sauce went out, it was over. Like like you said, like once the superstar dude is gone, it changes the whole dynamic of the game. In the middle of the game, once Sauce went down and it was a non-contact, I was like, oh yeah, they're not bringing him back in the game. He might be out for a couple weeks. This is the worst time for him to get hurt, if I'm being real. Because it looked, I was worried that it was an Achilles initially. But it didn't look like one, but it did not look like one because he was backpedaling, which was a little weird.
It was a very close game. I think these are two very competitive teams. Yeah, for the Texans, it's like I think DeMeco Ryans is just like maybe one of the top 5 game planners as far as the defensive perspective that we have in the NFL.
Yeah.
Maybe top 1. Like he's playing a divisional opponent, which he's seen multiple times already.
You have to watch so much film on them.
And DeMeco Ryans is just the best at it. He's just going to attack you where it hurts and make it worse. Like that's all he's going to do defensively.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he could get like a offensive guru, offensive coordinator like Ben Johnson, someone like that in his wheelhouse, similar to, how Dan Campbell had it last year.
Yeah.
This team would be crazy. I think the Texans would be crazy if they got a really like star offensive coordinator. The problem is I don't think DeMeco Ryans wants to coach offense. Like you can kind of tell like the offense is very uninspired when they're on the field. Even with who I think is a great quarterback in CJ Stroud, he has no rhythm with anyone. He has no timing with anyone. Like if he gets the ball off, it feels like it's luck.
No.
Like it doesn't feel like it's schemed up in any way, shape, or form.
I blame the run game, honestly.
Yeah.
Their
it's
run
a lot
game
of things.
is very
It's a lot of things, and that's the problem, right? When you're a defensive coordinator, head coach, like you just can't split yourself up into that many avenues of the game. Like, okay, I have 35 problems on offense I need to figure out. Okay. I have like 12 problems on defense I need to figure out. What's DeMeco Ryan gonna focus on? Like
I mean, I'm gonna push back just a little bit because they, to me, is what, and I'm just trying to compare for the viewers too, and like for us to kind of like understand when the Browns had Chubbs, Kareem Hunt, in the defense. Like that's what I feel like DeMeco Ryan is shooting for his team. He's like, hey, like you said, like offense is not my main thing, but for defense, the number one rule that we're supposed to learn is I know how to stop a run, which means if I know how to stop it, I kind of know how to make a run attack. And
you should know.
You should. And genuinely, when they got Nick Chubbs, I thought that was fixing their problems. When they got Joe Mixon, I was like, this is perfect. This is just like that. Both of them are a shell of themselves. Joe Mixon is out, and Nick Chubbs is battling injuries. So it's like,
Yeah,
CJ Stroud doesn't have a guy on 2nd and 7. I can give him the ball to make it 3rd and 3, and I can do a play action. Now, no. I'm gonna have to drop back right now. And the defense that I'm going against knows that. So why am I even gonna pretend to even do a play? That just really makes them a little bit more one-dimensional.
Yeah. I think the
Uh,
stat that shows it the most is like Nico Collins is your far and away number one guy, like a number
yeah.
one receiver.
hmm
5 of 10. 5 of 10. 5 catches on 10 targets. Did you get him the most targets? Yes. You schemed up in that way. 5 of 10. 98 yards. That's a huge amount of yards just for 5 catches.
Yeah, that's a lot of. And then you see Dalton Schultz with 7 catches, half of that, 55. Like he's damn near, almost a little bit less than half of that, and he has, 2 more catches. Um,
But
ooh,
yeah.
do you
I
want to? I
I
did
just
not see. I'm sorry, I was just kind of looking at some of the other
Yeah.
games. I knew there was some that we could skip past, like the Jets and the Falcons. Like that was about, in my opinion, that was a doodle bowl. Like both teams were buns, so it's like, I did not know that you guys went through that. So can you care to explain what happened? I know obviously the Seahawks are better, and that's not a debate, but that's the only shutout this week. So
Yeah.
I was not gonna let you pass with that one.
No, I was not gonna pass on this one. Definitely shut out by the Seahawks. And that defense is legit. Like, there's no question about it. I don't know where you want to place defenses in the NFC right now. It seems like all
Oh,
the top 5 teams are leading the way with defense. Like, where do you want to place Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, uh, throw the Eagles in there, Bears. These are like the top defenses in the NFC right now. So it was no surprise that we were going to struggle on offense. Um, Rookie quarterback, first start in the NFL,
I
4
was just about to
interceptions.
say, I did not know that he was starting. I knew that there was some quarterback stuff going on. That answers my question now. So never
Yeah.
mind. We don't even
Four,
have to
four,
dig. Yeah, bro, man, he just got the jersey was still getting stitched as coach was talking.
yeah. I feel like first start against one of the best defenses in the league kind of
Oh,
writes itself, right?
poor fella, man. He
4
stood
interceptions,
no chance.
4 sacks for 30 yards.
He
Um,
like there was no there. Yeah, there.
no help from the run game.
Oh
Just
man.
brutal. I
R.I.P.
mean, probably Hawkinson's best game of the year. 6
Yeah,
targets, 6 catches, 59 yards.
but that's
Other than
every
that,
every young quarterback's BFF is a good tight end because that's the closest guy you know he's going to get the most. Oh man,
yeah,
damn.
5 turnovers. I think Aaron Jones left a fumble as well. Um, Jordan Mason fumbled and recovered. Like, man, the Seahawks team is legit, man. They are legit. That defense, I don't know how much better is it than our defense last year. 5, 10 times better than our defense was last year. It's crazy. They're flying around.
Yeah,
So all
it's
props to the Seahawks, man. They are a nice little playoff contender there. And the NFC playoffs are going to be an absolute movie, bro.
yeah. There's no telling because
I'm waiting for the
it,
day that it's
it
it's gonna be so good.
it's just you don't know who's going to make it. There are some teams that are slowly falling off. Like I was looking at some of the people that have been eliminated. None of them are surprised now, obviously. Giants, Cardinals, whoop-de-doo. Like we knew that they were going to have a DOA a lot faster than a lot of other teams. But man, oh man, I will say the 49ers getting the win was pretty impressive.
Yep.
I was hoping that Shador, just for my playoff hopes, I needed Shador to win. That
Mm.
was the main reason why. But I knew it was going to be if he would have won that, he would have been the starter going forward for the rest of the year and probably next year, just because the 49ers have always had a competent defense.
Mm.
Um, Even at their worst, they're middle of the pack. And for a rookie quarterback,
Shanahan might be the only guy that I've seen where he really does dominate both sides of the ball.
Yes.
Like his game planning on both sides, obviously credit to Robert Saleh, who
I
he
was just
got
about
back
to say it's. I think
very,
it's the smart
very
move.
helpful.
Yeah.
But Saleh was also brought to the Jets because of his relationship with Shanahan. Like
Yeah.
they are more of a duo, I think,
Mm-hmm.
than it is like Saleh just tells Shanahan like, oh, we're gonna run this on defense, and then they run that and then it works. I feel like it's way more of a partnership than just like, here, Saleh, you take the defense and I'll handle the offense. I feel like Shanahan is one of the only coaches in the league that really has his finger on both the offense and the defense, and they both play well. They both look like they know what they're doing. They both look schemed up, like a competent NFL offense and defense from his ownership and from his leadership. Um, and that's why they've been good for so long. Since they've had Shanahan, they've been good.
Yeah.
Like
No, I couldn't agree more, man. Having
he was
Saul.
begging, bro. He was begging. Just give me a competent quarterback. Give me a quarterback that doesn't throw 4 interceptions a game, and I will make this team great.
Yeah.
And that's what he has done since he got Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he's done is win. Not the big games. Like I'm not gonna give him the credit of winning big games until he does it. But he is a mastermind of the regular season.
Yeah. It has become easier to give Brock Purdy the nod that he belongs a starter just because he's this much better than Mac Jones. It's not a lot, but it's enough that the game that he played today, I think Mac Jones would have made this game a closer game.
Yeah.
But Brock Purdy, I believe he's more comfortable in the system, which is what gave him a little bit more of an increase in like how much more valuable he is to the team. If both Brock Purdy and Mac Jones started this playbook, started the scheme at the same time, you couldn't tell the difference. But Brock Purdy's more comfortable in it. He's had more reps with C-Mac, Jennings, Kittle. He's had more reps with all those guys. And that plays a huge factor when you're a quarterback, let alone a quarterback for a Shanahan. Like those reps matter. Those RPOs, when you have McCaffrey, it's like riding a bike.
Yeah, because it's so complex, like just the more you learn it, the
Yes,
better you are. And that's just
exactly.
how it works.
And even if you understand it the first couple practices and the first few games, it's a lot different than when somebody's been playing it for the last 3 seasons. If that's been the only offense that they've learned, that plays a big factor too. Mac Jones, he had 7 coordinators since he's been in the league. Purdy's got one.
And that's why it
The
was so
one.
easy for them to get rid of Trey Lance, is because Trey Lance never picked up the system. He never
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yep.
That's why it was so easy for them to just say, okay, goodbye. Like, this
Yeah.
is our system. You can't understand it. Okay,
Yeah.
see ya. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, Trey Lance's athleticism gave him the nod, but
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's like understanding and flow and just regular game plan shows okay, this is the guy going forward. Because
Yeah.
at first it was conversation, in my opinion. Like Mac Jones was playing good enough to where it's like, oh shit, like is Brock Purdy really overrated? Like I thought.
Mm.
Now it's like, okay, no, I still think he might be a little overrated, but he is good enough to be a starter, and that's
Yeah.
a big deal for somebody that was the last pick.
Well, I think it's fair to like put that cap on the 49ers. Like, we can say all the good things. We could sit here and talk for 20 minutes about how like dominant the 49ers have been in the regular season. The fact is, they haven't won the big game. Like
Yep.
they have not been able to complete the season, win the Super Bowl. And it's like, you can be as good, you can go through all these regular season wins all you want, you can go through the playoffs. Like, if you don't win a Super Bowl, that escalates you into an entirely different conversation. Because now we're talking about you in the terms of people who wear a ring on their finger. And like I feel like we have to separate those two conversations whenever we talk about teams like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good game. Just quickly, we'll go through this. Dolphins beat the Saints 21-17.
Just saw that
Jets did beat the Falcons 27-24. Who was quarterback? Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Is Tyrod Taylor just straight up a better quarterback than Justin Fields?
I believe that Tyra Taylor is more confident in his skill set. And that has made a big. Maybe I'm kind of beating around the bush with this because I feel like Fields has had a bigger upside than Tyrod Taylor, but I think Tyrod Taylor's really accepted, hey, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm not good at. He's been in the league for so long. He's been able to be a starter. He's been able to have the team given to him. And I think it goes to show that he's still kind of like how Joe Flacco can just step in and make throws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's different than Jake Browning. Justin Fields obviously has benefited from having Ohio State wide receivers when he was. That's why he left Georgia.
Yeah.
He gave it to track stars. That's why Jalen Hurts looks so good in college. That's why every Alabama quarterback has looked so good in college because he's throwing it to track stars. Justin Fields, unfortunately, this game is not looking good for him, man. Like seeing a Jets quarterback win that's not Justin Fields after getting that check is like, damn, the Jets could have maybe avoided doing that and gotten somebody else for real.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think their options were really that great,
Yeah.
but
I
you're
mean, they could
right.
have
Like,
drafted somebody.
yeah, it's a bad look for sure, I think. Bucks beat the Cardinals 20-17. The Cardinals are really good at losing, man.
Yeah.
Like, talk about a team that knows how to tank. The Cardinals are masters of
Yeah.
it. They play every game so close and
Mhm.
find a way to lose, no matter the situation, no matter the opponent. Like the Bucks are clearly so much better of a team. And they still, the Cardinals still manage to keep it close and lose by 3. Incredible.
Yeah, now they're battling for a top 5 pick again.
Yeah. Crazy. And then Jags beat the Titans 25-3. Bills beat the Steelers 26-7. And then Chargers beat the Raiders 31-14. We're just blowing through these games now.
The
I think
next
that's
game
everything.
for the
Oh,
Chargers.
Rams Panthers. Rams Panthers is the last one. We've been talking up the Rams this whole podcast, right? But they lost to the Panthers.
This makes me feel so much better about losing to the Panthers. This is before we got all of our people. So this makes me feel because the Panthers they apparently went, they beat the Rams. So like that's a big deal. Like for that division, this is going to be a race between the Bucks and the
I
Panthers.
would have told you the Rams are definitive #1 best team in the NFL.
I literally just said that last week as well after they beat Seattle. I was like, that was the game of who the best in the NFC.
I mean, I
Now
was saying
I'm
it
like,
before that. I was saying it before they beat Seattle, and then they beat Seattle, and I was like,
now it's like I don't know now. I don't know who's the best. Oh, oh man. Matt Stafford 2 interceptions, insane. The first one, okay, it got tipped. Yeah, you got to live with it. The second one, now we're being silly now.
yeah, crazy.
The Panthers
He
defense
threw
came to play.
28 touchdowns in a row without
Broke Tom
throwing
Brady's
an
record. I saw
interception.
that. Yeah. That offense is still really good though, man. They had so many turnovers and barely lost. So that just goes to show that even when they lost, they played good.
This is one of those games I could watch it over and over again and still be surprised by how it
Yeah, no, it was definitely not on my bingo card for sure. This was probably
because
one of the biggest upsets this week to me.
Bryce Young 75% completion percentage, 206
Yeah.
yards, 3 touchdowns against that Rams defense, man.
And I believe that the turnovers, hold on, let me double check because yeah, he had no turnovers. Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
Usually Bryce Young just throws a interception just for
Yeah.
fun, just to feel, his blood pumping, just to
Yeah.
be alive for a second. He's like, let me throw an interception
Yeah.
just for fun. He didn't even throw one of those.
Yeah.
He was
And
perfect.
the rookie McMillan or whatever, he
Tet,
43-yard
Tet,
bomb.
Tet is for real.
Yeah,
Tet
he's
is
legit.
such a good receiver. And he had 1 catch. On 2 targets.
43 yards to the crib.
Crazy. I'm I'm not scared of the Panthers right now. Obviously, this is a huge win. Boosts everyone's confidence in the building
Yeah.
to beat like what I think was the definitive #1 best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just on a random Sunday in week 13.
Any given Sunday,
But
man.
I'm scared of what the Panthers are gonna look like next year.
They can only get better from here.
They have something to build around. Ted McMillan is a bona fide #1 in the
Yeah.
league, I think. Bona fide #1 receiver.
He is going to be able to catch up to Terry McLaurin very fast. Because I think that's one of those guys that's in the NFC bubble that's at one point in time they put him really high, then they kind of knocked him down a couple pegs just because of injury and availability and the winning factor in it. Now he can kind of take that replacement for that because I just like to split up those. I split up those kind of skill positions in the AFC NFC. Like right
Yeah.
now, NFC, it's a three-headed tie depending on who you prefer. Four maybe. Obviously, I put my guys in there, and then you put Puka, and then JSN. Those are the top guys rotating right now, just right now. And he obviously I don't think he's there yet, but he's taking
No.
good strides that lets you know that he's not DJ Moore status. Sorry, Justin. Like we're not treating him like DJ Moore. We're not treating him like Marvin Harrison Jr. right now. Which is like, oh, you're good, but you're just not balling right now. So he's not there yet.
It's funny
But
because DJ Moore was the original Ted McMillan. Like he was the
exactly.
like bona
He
fide
was the
#1.
Panthers, yep.
But they traded him away.
Yeah.
They traded him away instead of building around him.
Yeah. They got some #1s out of receiver too.
I mean, they did get Bryce Young.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. It's crazy that they did flip DJ Moore for Bryce Young, and then they did go and get Tet, like pretty much in 2 years.
Literally
And I
replacing.
think, yeah, that's a good place to end it. I think. Commanders just went up on the Broncos, 14-13. Commanders
that.
right now.
I like that. I like that. NFC
So
East.
that game is probably going to be very interesting.
Let's
We'll
see if
how that
Von Miller
goes.
can put some respect on his name because the Broncos said he is not a good fit for their franchise.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Cowboys, we got the Lions on Thursday. Let's go.
Yeah, that's gonna be such a good game. All right, we will see you guys next week, hopefully with Josh back. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun end to the season.
The
It's gonna be
games are
really
getting
fun.
heavier and heavier, man.
Yep.
Peace.
All right, see ya.